Welcome back to the grind. In this video, we are going to break down how to defeat AirWalk in the Uncollected difficulty. I'm going to keep it as brief and simple as possible, and first let's break down the nodes. So the defender will shrug off buffs 60% sooner. He has a special 2 bias. Power access means that you will gain power to special 1 faster, but then it will go slower. And then specialist 2 gives you the advantage of having stronger special 2 attacks. So champions that deal more damage with their special 2 are ideal. Now let's look at the main obstacle around defeating AirWalk, which is his Dark Tide debuffs. So whenever you power drain, power lock, or power burn AirWalk, you will get 3 Dark Tide debuffs applied to you. The more Dark Tide debuffs you have, the more damage you will take when blocking AirWalk's special attacks. But the main problem is if you have armor break as well as Dark Tide debuffs, you will start to take degeneration damage based on how many Dark Tide debuffs there are, and they can add up quickly. So how do you get rid of them? You will remove 1 every time you fill a bar of power, but the best way to manage it is to nullify the power cosmic. So having a nullified champion will make this fight significantly easier. So now let's take a look at these Dark Tide debuffs. When you start the fight, you can see that gray circle that is having a timer go around it. And as soon as that gets to 0, then you will get a Dark Tide debuff applied to you. You will also get Dark Tide debuffs applied to you if you get hit by his special attacks. So now the Dark Tide debuff is applied when the timer gets to 0 and it resets, and it continues that process. And then when you nullify the power cosmic, you will remove the Dark Tide debuffs on you. But the Dark Tide debuff alone does not cause you to take degen damage. You need armor break, which is applied anytime AirWalk activates a special. So you can see when there are the Dark Tide debuffs and an armor break at the same time, you will take heavy amounts of degeneration damage. As I mentioned, special attacks can also cause Dark Tide debuffs if you get hit by the special attack. Now, the degen damage requires an armor break to be applied at the same time, so champions that are immune to armor break will not take degeneration damage, and those who can nullify can remove the Dark Tide debuffs as you saw here. So now let's talk about how to evade the special 1 and special 2 attacks. They're not too difficult, so once you get an idea of how they look, you should be able to get them down. The first attack is a swing and then a slow moving projectile. And then the second special attack is again a close range swing, and then he goes up in the air and has a delayed beam attack. So let's break it down a little bit slower. The special 1 is a close range swing, and then he throws a slow moving projectile. So you have to be careful to evade right before it hits you and not at the same time as he throws it, because if you're not next to him, then if you dash at the same time, you will end up getting hit by the special attack, getting Dark Tide debuffs, and potentially stunned. Now the special 2 attack, I feel like is easier to evade. It's a close range swing, then he goes up in the air, a short delay before a beam attack, which is very easy to evade because it's very quick. So there's the first swing of the attack, goes up, a very short delay, and then a beam attack that you can easily evade with 1 dodge. Now for the champion choices. Ideally, you want a champion that can nullify frequently or with good control, or a champion that is immune to armor breaks. Now, Dr. Voodoo would also be a good option if you avoid using the power burn and simply do either the power drain or spamming S1, but I made a mistake in this clip. I used special 1 on an odd number instead of an even number, so I did not remove the power of Cosmic from AirWalker, which means I could not get rid of the Dark Tide debuffs. So if you don't have a champion that has a way of dealing with these debuffs to nullify buffs or prevent armor break, then you get stuck in this position of taking a lot of degeneration damage, and you might as well just run face first into a special attack like this clip shows. So you definitely do not want to make that mistake. Now, another way around it is AirWalker is a villain, so you can use Blade with Ghost Synergy and get that bonus against the villain. So I never had a single Dark Tide debuff applied to me the whole fight. I did take one of those armor break buffs, but I was very easily able to manage this fight. I built straight up to a special 2 because we have the special 2 increased damage from one of the nodes, and that's really all it took to kill him with Blade. I just had to do a couple extra shots after his special 2, and then I was done with this fight. Another MVP for fighting against AirWalker is definitely Doom, because he's immune to armor break, so there's no way that you can take degen damage even if you have a bunch of Dark Tide debuffs on you. But he also nullifies a lot, so he removes the buffs and therefore removes the Dark Tide debuffs from himself, making this fight very simple because there really isn't a whole lot else to deal with once you're able to dodge his special attacks, which are very simple to manage. Now, the only problem is AirWalker has the decreased debuff duration on him, so you can't chain on a heavy attack with that shock because it expires before the end of a combo, so you'd have to finish your combo early. The other thing to consider is you gain power slower after you reach 1 bar of power, so it does take a little longer to get up to your 3rd special attack, but 1 or 2 of these Doom style combos and he goes down pretty easily. Not too difficult. Once you're able to get down the special attacks, which are pretty easy to manage, then this fight is pretty simple with someone like Dr. Doom or Blade. Now, if you do want to learn how to do the Doom style combo, I will be releasing a video on that in the near future, so make sure to keep an eye on that so you can check it out. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope it helped you understand AirWalker a little bit better to make your fight against him in Uncollected that much easier. See you in the next video.